Nick Owens has been a server for nearly half his life.
So I'm 35, so I've been in the industry for around 15, 16, 17 years.
These days, he works at People's Kitchen in Lansing, saving up for his future.
Myself, I'm working on a degree later in life. This position allows me to work 20, 25 hours a week and make my money and be able to survive and take care of things.
But recent legislative action in Michigan is making that difficult.
The legislation, unfortunately, threatens most servers' livelihoods.
In July, lawmakers voted to gradually phase out the tipped employee hourly rate and correspondingly raise the state's minimum wage.
From a business perspective, obviously there's higher labor costs concerned with that.
People's Kitchen General Manager Douglas Mulkey worries how these changes will impact his local restaurant.
If I have higher costs coming in, that cost has to be distributed somewhere, and it's going to be it'll be tough for sure.
This legislation means that the standard minimum wage for tipped workers will gradually increase over the next 5 years until it hits $15 an hour. These workers currently make $3.93 an hour plus their tips. That money is going to have to come from somewhere else.
That's going to make a significant impact on our labor cost as a small business.
And a wage increase could actually decrease profits.
When you look at someone who's making $30 an hour, and you're going to cut their wages down to $15 an hour, and they're going to have to work more hours, how does that logically make sense to anybody?
Economics and educational policy professor Scott Imberman says that small businesses like Mulkey's may be disproportionately affected.
I do think the brunt of the negative impacts, at least in the short run negative impacts, would probably be more borne by smaller business.
That's because restaurants with 1 or 2 locations aren't able to offset the wage increase as easily as larger chains.
We're just one location, we have 30 employees.
Mulkey says his employees are opposed to the shift as many already make a livable wage.
I don't have a single employee that is pro changing the way the system works right now.
Imberman says these changes were initially intended to benefit servers.
There is some potential benefit to having more of a guaranteed income, in the sense that you don't have to worry about, are you making enough tips?
But Owens argues that these decisions will have the opposite effect.
I think that legislatures have a habit of thinking what's good for the people without really checking with the people.
And the long-term impacts are still uncertain.
It's still not clear where the industry will be when that settles.
For workers like Owens, the question remains.
I just don't believe people are going to be making more money. And at a time when everything is unaffordable, why are you trying to make more people work longer hours for less pay? It makes no sense.
In the meantime, Owens will continue to do his job, earning tips to help him get through school. In East Lansing, I'm Micaiah Lawrence, reporting.